players Maya Hernandez and Brandy Williams. Welcome and congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
And we'll start with a statement by Coach Hughes, followed by questions for the student athletes. After the questions for the student athletes, we'll dismiss them and then have questions for Coach Hughes. Go ahead, Coach Hughes.
Great game, great team. Knowing that Santa Clara had a ton of firepower on offense, but also played extremely gritty on the defensive end, attacked us. Great ability to score around the rim today. We really struggled with that in the first quarter. Really needed to clean up our defense, and that was a focal point. Really proud of the way that our kids battled. Every time we had a timeout, it was about defense. Biggest stat on this scores sheet or stat sheet for me is the 17 offensive rebounds, and that just shows when we're not having good nights, we're not scoring the basketball easy. We're going to continue to fight and make sure that we get to the free throw line or find a way. This group is not done. That's what they're telling the coaching staff. We believe them. We can't wait to get to go tomorrow.
Okay, questions for the student athletes?
You may or may not be aware, but you guys had 0 turnovers in the first half and only 4 for the game. Can you just talk about how you guys managed to do that and how important that was in the game?
I mean, in practice, it's really a vocal point. We start off with like 8 turnovers, and every time we turn the ball over, we get a credit taken away. So the most important thing tonight was definitely, like, our main focus was to take care of the ball and not turn it over.
We did that. It was good. Good job, B.
Yeah.
You had none. You had no turnovers.
0 turn. Oh, that's an extra credit.
No. It's don't. That's expected, B. With you being a graduate senior, right? You're not supposed to turn it over at this time of the year, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Just keep taking care of the ball throughout the tournament.
There we go.
Gotcha. My coach referenced rebounding. They out-rebounded you guys in the first half, and you guys flipped that totally in the second half. What was the difference?
Well, throughout the whole week to prepare for this, a big focal point has been no rebound, no ring. So kind of just flipping our mentalities and really going hard and attacking the rebounds was something that we had to do and helped us to get the win. Can
you also talk about what, if anything, you guys did defensively to hold down Pollard, who I think she only had 1 shot attempt in the first half and finished up with an unusually low scoring total for her?
Yeah, I mean, Pollard's a great player. She's obviously one of the best in the conference, making first team, but kind of just knowing personnel and taking away what we thought we could and kind of just playing hard the whole 40 minutes helped us.
Brandy, was Coach correct that you guys would like to keep playing for a while?
Yes, we want to go all the way to Tuesday.
That's the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Coach alluded to this already, but Brandy and Matt, you guys combined for 10 offensive rebounds. What about your guys' preparation and your positioning had you guys ready to seize the opportunity when it came to you guys?
Well, it's just like Maya said, our main focus is no rebound, no ring, and that was it. Just to make sure that they don't get offensive rebounds and make sure that we box out.
And then one last quick one is, what type of energy did Zawadi bring in that second quarter? It seemed like the defense really turned a corner right then and there and really took off for the rest of the game. What did she really contribute when she came into the game?
I mean, Zawadi is a real important, she plays like her role for us. She's aggressive offensively, like even though people sag off of her, she's real aggressive to get to the rim. And I think every time she attacks for us, it brings us a lot of energy. So I feel like we feed off of anybody on the court. So if Zawadi is being aggressive at the beginning of the game, that helps us a lot.
Okay, any other questions for the student athletes? Oh, we've got one right behind you, Thomas. Thank you.
Brandy, Maya, thank you. Incredible. Brandy, we've seen Maya really blossom over this year into an unstoppable force kind of these last few games. Talk to us about what you've seen and what's brought her to this point where she's at today.
I mean, Maya is really important for us. She's definitely our anchor. Anytime we can give the ball to Maya and she can score for us, I mean, it's great for us offensively. And, yeah, I think she's like our vocal point. So whenever we can feed off of Maya, it's a great night for us.
And Maya will spin it right back. You've got Nadia and Brandy coming down the floor feeding you the ball. What's it been like to have ball handlers and people that see the court in that type of way this season and particularly in this game today?
Yeah, I mean, it's been great to have such strong leadership on the court. They're able to take care of the ball, but also stretch the floor. When they're hitting outside shots, makes it a lot easier for me to kind of take advantage in the paint. So definitely working together early and often makes it a good thing.
Okay. Oh, go ahead.
Just one quick question. Maya, this is now your second time playing in this tournament. I wonder if you could comment on what it was like playing today versus what it was like when you were playing as a freshman?
Well, I mean, I definitely have a bigger role this year on the team. So, I mean, it's just really great to see how much you can contribute to this game, and just it's a team win. Today, everybody contributed, everybody was together, and I think that's definitely something that makes our group so special. So just building off that has been amazing this year, and we are going to keep doing that.
Okay. All right, thank you to the student athletes. You're
Oh,
you're free to go.
See you. So excited.
Yes.
Okay, questions for Coach Hughes?
Erica, I'm just wondering, I mean, you guys made 17 of 18 free throws. You dominated the boards in the second half. You didn't turn the ball over at all. Is this as well as you've played this year?
I think we've had better offensive performances and honestly defensive performances to start, but we know that it's survive and advance. I think the great part about our group right now is being able to stay poised. Understanding that this time of the year, everybody's playing their best basketball. We're going to make runs. The other team's going to make runs, but the most important thing is to find a way to get it done, and this group has definitely shown that over the last 4 wins that we've had this season.
You guys are clearly one of the hottest teams in the conference right now. What ultimately, if anything, has changed over the last month or so in terms of playing your best ball right now, right when you would need it?
The combination of Nadia and Maya. I mean, I know we continue to talk about team, but if you really think about right now, we were even, right, with those 4. I know AC, Allison Clark has done a fantastic job. She's probably been our most consistent player statistically over the last 10 games, now 12. But with Maya being able to score consistently in the paint, that really opens up our ability to be able to knock down shots. Really focusing with Brandy on not just kind of hanging out behind that three-point line, but finding a way to get into the paint, and then Nadia being aggressive. When you have a point guard and a 5 player that find a way to, again, push and score, but also defensive rebound and get stops, I mean, that's kind of the secret for our group. So both of them have to be on, and then everybody has to do their job on both ends of the floor.
You've got San Francisco tomorrow. Can you just talk about the challenge they present?
I mean, that's a tough team. It's a tough team that's not going to give us anything easy. We talked about not turning it over today. That's a group that's going to have a whole lot of pressure. What I do think we've gotten a much better job of is if Nadia is not able to get open, our offense does not stop. There's other people that can make plays, and today, people like Carly, people like Maya. We saw some from Zawadi as well. And then, of course, AC trying to get in the paint. That's going to be really important for us tomorrow because she's going to be a key focal point for San Francisco.
Coach, you talked a lot about discipline on the defensive end this season, and today you held Santa Clara to just 4 free throws. Talk about what you saw that was different in today's game that really allowed your team to stay strong and not send them to the line.
Yeah, I heard a quote, so I'm going to steal this from a really great coach, but he talked about chemistry, Rick Pitino, and he said there's no chemistry without love and discipline. I'm going to tell you right now, our group has taken a ton of time to figure out how to be disciplined, but there's always been love. So for us, that was a really big message, especially with those first 5. We didn't want to give Santa Clara anything easy. I thought the reffing, I'm sure Mike Floyd didn't think so much on the other end, but I thought we did a really great job of being disciplined and not bailing them out. That's taken us a really long time, especially with Maya Hernandez, and she's grown, as you guys talked about earlier, from being a freshman in the tournament in Vegas to now. She's really taken that to heart. She understands how important her inside presence is, and today we were able to execute.
And a lot on that defensive end and the scrapping for the ball is Carly Hyger. When she scores in double figures, typically you guys are on the winning side of things, but she brings so much more. What did you see from her today that really helped will you guys to this win?
Aggressiveness. I mean, for us with Carly, we tell Carly all the time, if anybody's going to break the offense and go do something, it's Carly. Carly, go ahead. You have the green light. Days where she feels indecisive, right? Her teammates are there to make sure that they're encouraging her. But today I thought she picked her moments. We ran some things, but ultimately when she's fighting, when she's gritty, when she's finding a way to get to the free throw line and not hanging out on that 3-point line, we normally see some success with her.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about Nadia Evans' contribution? She struggled at the very beginning of this game, but then she caught fire, and at one point she was able to give the Santa Clara band a little bit of something. What did you see from Nadia, and what does she bring to the squad?
Nadia is so important to our program. She's huge. She's the heart of this team, and if she were sitting here right now, she would say it was everybody else. To Ava, to Mari, she's humble. You guys don't get to see that out on the floor. She's pretty, loud, if you will. But she's the leader of our team. She's the one that can bark and say hard things, but also takes a lot of accountability in moments. And for us, it's crucial to have her on. And when she's not, we remind her to be aggressive. Her out in the open court, right, when she can make those decisions early is where we really need her to be able to step up. And tonight, she was able to find that in big moments for us.
I'm wondering what you guys did defensively that made it so difficult for Pollard, a two-time all-conference player.
Yeah, we guarded her. You know, we didn't leave her. And I know that sounds simple because with everybody else that's driving and containing, I think in the first quarter you watched us almost come out and switch so hard that we gave different Santa Clara players lanes to drive in. We weren't going to help off of Pollard, which meant that we had to actually take a step back and keep the ball in front of us instead of pushing up, because I do have shifty guards that like to get downhill. We had a focal point. Anybody that was on her, Carly had a huge point in that. We wanted to stay attached. Anything that she had, we really played her tendencies, making her have to go to her right hand, not giving her her left hand. And I think when you have a collective effort from a group that knows that that is the person we have to stop, we finally stepped up with that defensive discipline and made it really hard for her this afternoon.
Okay. Oh, we got one question in the back here.
Hi, Coach. Congrats on the win. Sam Canales, Santa Clara Student Radio. You guys lost the first quarter by 1 and then won every quarter consecutive to that. I was curious after that first quarter what the message was and what the message was down the stretch as well.
No rebound, no ring. Figure it out. We're not going to make shots all of the time. We have to be a tough team. Everybody is going to play great basketball. We're not relying on the refs. We're not thinking anybody's going to give us anything. So if we can't be tough enough to find a way to make plays with 50-50s, we're going to cut our run short. So that was the message the entire game, and it didn't stop, especially going into the fourth quarter, and we saw how we struggled offensively there.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're fine. Okay. All right, so welcome to Coach Michael Floyd, Olivia Pollard, and Malia Latu. We'll start with a statement from Coach Floyd, and then we'll have questions for the student athletes. Following those questions, we'll dismiss the student athletes and have questions for Coach. So Coach, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say first of all that, I've been telling a lot of people here in the last month or so about this whole situation at Santa Clara University, that we have phenomenal student athletes. They were put in a tough situation, having a head coaching change last minute going into the season, something that they they didn't plan on, and they did an incredible job addressing that during the course of the year, the way they battled. And I just want to say thank you to you ladies sitting here, and then obviously in the locker room, thank everybody. And I just appreciate the effort from administration and the staff that was given to make this season for us this year. In regards to the game, I just want to commend LMU, made a lot of plays, did a great job of getting to the free throw line. We didn't do such a good job of guarding the ball without fouling. But like I said, our ladies battled for 40 minutes, but I want to commend the job that LMU did today.
Okay, questions for the student athletes?
Well, the turnovers were a big issue for you guys, and they had none in the first half. I think you had 12. Just how big was that in the game?
I think it was a momentum shifter for us. There was possessions where we could have done more, but the turnovers really affected us. So I feel like taking care of the ball would have been like helpful for us in the end. But I'm proud of us. So we tried, we fought. So.
Olivia, you've had a terrific couple of years, all conference both times. Tough game today. What do they do defensively to kind of keep you under wraps?
I mean, I think they just played really solid defense. We tried to do our thing, but credit to LMU, they had a really good game on both ends of the floor. But yeah, defensively they were really strong. Credit to them.
And in the first half, you guys out-rebounded them, and they sort of flipped the script on that in the second half. What was the difference there?
Yeah, I think just missing box outs. That was one of our things in the second half that we really struggled with. A few girls were able to get a few sneaky boards just because we had some lapses on the defensive end. Yeah, just a tough one.
Olivia, it's no secret that you're probably going to be one of the more underappreciated players in program history. When you reflect on the journey, I know it's very immediate. What comes to mind when you think of your Santa Clara journey?
Santa Clara has been super amazing for me in a lot of different ways. I came from a school that I transferred out of my freshman year that I didn't play, and Santa Clara has allowed me to really find the love for the game again, build my confidence, and I'm just super excited because I will reflect on my college for the rest of my life super fondly, basketball and off the court, but I'm excited to continue to play basketball, and I think Santa Clara has put me in the position to go off into the professional realm in a really awesome way. So I'm very thankful, and I'll always be very thankful to Santa Clara.
And Malia, somewhat in a similar vein, you've been Bay Area person all your life. You've seen the different side of the rivalry up at USF, now at Santa Clara. How do you evaluate your journey? Because you've seen this program grow up almost from the ground up in some respects.
Yeah, I'm just grateful for like the coaches putting us players in positions to like succeed, making sure we're successful on the court and then off the court as well in the classroom. Yeah, and I'm just grateful for a great group of girls to finish off my last year here at Santa Clara.
Then the last one for either of you. Coach Floyd kind of just got inserted as head coach all of a sudden, right before the season started. How do you reflect on the type of leadership he gave you guys consistently throughout the course of the season?
Yeah, I mean, Floyd and both K.I. and Carrie, they've been absolutely amazing in stepping up. I know we said this to them in the locker room, but one thing that we really appreciate about them is how they both really care about us as a basketball player, but as a human being. And I think this year it's been really important. They've always been checking in on us, and then on the court they've been making sure that we're always going hard. And I think one thing that really hits home for me is how they never gave up on us, even when the situation was a little different, and we had some stuff going on at the beginning before we jumped into season. They stuck with us through it, and we're just there, and 100% effort for us, which was really nice.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll have questions for you, Coach, here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah, you
Sorry about
two are
that.
free to go.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
You're stuck.
But nice try, Michael.
Thank you, guys.
You almost got away with it, too.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Lloyd.
Michael, can you just talk about their ability to control the boards in the second half after you really had the edge over the first 20 minutes?
Yeah, and going into the game, that was a concern of ours, is how good they were on the offensive boards with their forwards, especially Hernandez. Liv pointed to it, attested to it, that we couldn't get a body on them. They just did a good job of getting off our box outs and attacking the boards with two hands. And, they were missing shots, but they were getting the second and third opportunities, and that really hurt us, especially in that third quarter.
Obviously, Olivia's had a great career for you guys.
Yeah.
She had 9 rebounds today, a couple of block shots, but she couldn't get any offense going. I think she only had one shot attempt in the first half.
Yeah.
Was that her not being aggressive enough, you guys not getting the ball to her, or them just doing a good job
I'm a
defensively?
credit LMU. They just did a phenomenal job of taking all looks away from her. But we did talk about that at halftime, and we did get us some pretty decent looks during the second half. But again, a testament to LMU. They locked in on her and didn't give her any space to operate. But you know, our girls battle. Like I said, Liv did have some looks. We just didn't make the ones that we did have.
Coach, moving one step over to the head part of being the head part of the program, it's hard. There's no secret about it.
That's a long step. That's a long slide, that one seat over.
Yeah, it's a lot. What did you learn about yourself throughout this journey? Because it was all of a sudden, and now you're expected to perform right away.
Yeah, I mean, it's, again, wasn't an ideal situation, but opportunity to run a program at the status of Santa Clara University was phenomenal for me professionally, the on-the-job training that I received. And also having two assistants that we've been together so long. The three of us have been together so long. I think that was a big part of us having the chance to be competitive, that we had nice cohesiveness as a staff. But yeah, I learned a lot. I learned that you got to be good and you got to be lucky, and you got to be healthy. But really enjoyed the experience, and just really enjoyed the growth that the players made during the course of the season.
And obviously, it's a big decision coming up.
Yeah.
How do you feel like you've earned this job with what you've put out this season?
Yeah, I mean, that process is going to take care of itself. I think the current staff now just has a aspect of that no one else will have, that we've been here and we're familiar with the ins and outs of the university and the athletic department. I'll go through the process with our AD and administration, and we'll go from there.
Any other questions for Coach? Oh, over here.
How's it going, Coach?
Good.
Sam Canales, Santa Clara Student Radio. Obviously, not the greatest end of the season, losing your last 3 regular season games and then this. But, you know, just coming into the season, obviously, they've talked about it, kind of crazy start. We didn't really know what to expect, to be honest. But I would say overall, pretty good season. I mean, you guys were 1 game away from being 500. Maybe something you're the most proud of out of this, and maybe something for the players as well that you're really proud of them.
Oh man, it's a lot. Let me pick one thing. Okay. Well, first I like to start on the academic side of it. You know, the student and student athlete. You know, we had a great fall and winter quarter academically, and normally when young people deal with distractions like such as this, you know, that might suffer somewhat. But you know, doing well in the classroom, and then sliding over to the basketball aspect of it, just the effort, the consistent effort that we had, you know, in practice leading up to games. And like you just mentioned, we won a lot of close games. They competed, and there's so much value to that. So I just really enjoyed that. Yeah, great question.
Coach Nick Pecora, Santa Clara Student Radio. We talked a little bit about looking back on Olivia's career. Can you talk a little bit about how, not just Olivia, but all of the seniors and grad transfers on this roster, can you talk a little bit about their impact off the court, you know, in the locker room, especially as a first-year head coach?
Yeah.
Can you talk about what that was like this year?
Yeah, going even back to the spring, getting affected by the transfer portal, then bringing in all these new pieces, these grad kids from all over the country. You kind of know what you're going to get, but you don't know what you're going to get. And it was really neat to see how they just bonded, like they had been together for 2 or 3 years. You know, the sisterhood, the bond that they had, it happened so quickly. You know, we would come in and we would have a day off coming out, and I would be like, so what are you doing on your day off? And oh, Coach, such and such, we're going to the beach or we're doing this. And I'm thinking like, well, why don't you go hang out with another student, a regular student on campus or something, do something with somebody else. But that's just how tight they were, even away from basketball. They always wanted to be together. And there's no faking that. You know, and I think that's one reason that we had the competitive season that we did have, is because they truly bonded and came together and cared about each other. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Just one more real quick. You guys got, I think, 5 players, right, coming in as freshmen next year?
Yes.
If you do end up sticking around, maybe something you're excited for out of them?
Oh, yeah. I think going back to the recruiting in the summer or spring, summer, and this fall, the nucleus of the 5 that we signed early, it's a great building block for whatever the future is going to look like for Santa Clara. So really excited for that group.
Okay. Thanks, Coach.
All right. I appreciate it.
Thanks for sticking around.
Oh, yeah. I was out.